get in out of the wind here. Well, maybe a little bit. But as you can see, we are underway. We heaped up the anchor. And you know, I thought I had the windlass all fixed, but no, that was a little premature. I think I helped it by cleaning it, but that's definitely not the issue. Somebody in the comments had said that it's probably not the brushes, it's probably bearings in the motor, and I think you're probably right. At any rate, we were able to limp it along and get 100 feet of chain up, and we got it up and got underway this morning, and we are beating into wind until we get by this headland here. We get around this little island here, then we'll come and have a nice beam reach, and hopefully the wind won't die, but I got a feeling it will later on. But sail to Valencia, where we're picking up our friends Kristen and Jim, coming to visit us. They have parts. They're going to hopefully get by the customs. I don't think they're nothing illegal or anything like that. Sometimes they get mad when you bring parts in. You got to pay a duty on them or something like that. But I think they'll be all right, hopefully anyway. But yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I've been in contact with a company, a local dealership for the windlass that I have, and there's actually one of these dealerships that is in the Balearic Islands over in Mallorca, which is the next island up. There's basically 3 islands with Ibiza, Mallorca, and I forget what the next one is, but at any rate, so my son and I had been to Palma before. Very expensive, beautiful, very nice, but probably wouldn't have gone there unless I have a reason to go. But I reached out to these people and sent them a message and said, hey, look, this is the windlass I have. I need a motor at the very minimum. In a perfect world, I'd buy the motor and a new right angle drive, take my right angle and motor off and send it out to get service somewhere so that I'd have another one in the future, but put a brand new one right in there so I'd be good for another 20 years. Or well, at least one would hope at any rate. But they have reached back to me on a Sunday, which was pretty cool, and they said, where are you? And I explained that, meaning that I think before they did a lot of research, they wanted to make sure that I wasn't 3 weeks away. So I'm going to spin the camera around so you don't have to look at me all the time. Really cool rock formations over here. But anyway, they responded back and said that they will take a look at everything on Monday, and that's tomorrow, and they will let me know. So fingers crossed they will have it. Fingers crossed we get the right weather, and fingers crossed Kristen and Jim don't mind us going to Palma. And the cool thing about Palma, or Mallorca for that matter, I don't know that this is going to work, but if it did, this could solve a lot of issues. Because if we go from Valencia, we would take the train, the high-speed train from Valencia to Madrid, because I have to go back to for my father's celebration of life. And anyway, the 4 of us were going to do that, and we were originally going to do it from Barcelona. And Barcelona, it was going to be about 4 times as expensive. Not really sure why. Well, I mean, obviously it's farther and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, Valencia, they had 1 million trains, and they were relatively cheap. And the funny part about the flight from Madrid to, or not the high-speed train, but there's a flight from Madrid to the Balearic Islands to Palma de Mallorca for $51. So I don't know. Like I say, I don't want to book that until I make sure that they actually have the part. And I got to get in touch with Runa to make sure Runa's cool, because Runa would have to meet us there instead of meeting us in Valencia, because he's going to babysit Paquita while I go and take care of my dad's celebration of life. So, we've got some stuff on the horizon. But speaking of horizons, isn't it beautiful here? I always get comments from people saying that all I do is motor everywhere. And I've told you in the past that, you know, when we're sailing, sometimes it's so nice that I just don't feel like picking up the camera. It's kind of nice. Well, we are pinching along here, doing just about 4 knots. We've been doing 5 every once in a while. winds drop down to 11 knots at a wind angle of 40 degrees, 38 degrees. And so once we get around the corner, we'll get that more on our side, and we should take off like a rocket ship on rails. Well, I don't know about that, but I think that my whole goal is to get into the marina. I can't check into the marina before 9 o'clock in the morning. So if I got to Valencia at 8 o'clock in the morning, I would get time to be able to drop the dinghy down, because I got to put the dinghy up on the bow, because when they have you do the med moor, you got to back into the slip, so you got to have the, I don't want to walk through my dinghy. So we got to do that, and I figured if I got in there around 8, I could get everything done right at the gas dock. They'd open up at 9, we'd be able to check in, get it over to the marina, and around 9:30, Kristen and Jim are supposed to land, and so I'm thinking around 10 or 10:30, they'll probably show up at the marina. They're flying from the U.S. over to Paris, and then from Paris over here, so I think all of their customs and stuff like that should have already been taken care of, I would imagine, but who knows, haven't done it before. Anybody that's interested, look at all those blossoms on my cherry tomato plant. Remember, this was the one that almost died coming across. I mean, we lost all of its flowers and had to come back. And we've got some fruit here that hasn't ripened up yet, but we got a whole bunch. Every one of those blossoms should be a little sweet 100 later on. So I feel so happy about that. And of course, the basil plant continues to do well. I've given up on the cilantro. It's too hot for that. That's the general consensus. I barely even water anything, and the green onions, just I can't kill them. I've been waiting for that to die. Then I turn everything over and start planting some regular tomatoes or something like that. I don't know. I like plant tomatoes. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got to tell you. So once we make the corner and we start taking off, probably be so happy I'll never pick up the camera again. Anyway, wish us luck. Hopefully we'll get there and everything will be cool tomorrow. You guys take care. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. All you people that have subscribed really helps us out. And thumbs up, comments, all those things are free and they all help out a lot. And those of you that have bought us around by hitting the super thanks button, really appreciate it. My liver thanks you too. It was really fun the other day when Chris and I we had been alone together for a while and just kind of basically hunkered down on the boat for 3 or 4 days. It was nice to get off and sit down at a bar and have a drink and share it with you guys as well. So thank you guys so much for that, and thank you so much for all the patrons out there. You guys take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the water.